Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW here in the Tier 6 British Tech Tree Cruiser, the Fiji, and I've called this one, This Is Why I Quit. And it is truly because the players are broken, not just the game. No matter how much we have to say about Wallet Gaming and their underhand tactics in how they market this game and develop this game, there really is something wrong with the player base. I don't know what it is. I can't even begin to fathom it out, but I truly do believe that some players of this game have a piece of paper taped to the side of their television screen with instructions that read 1. Breathe in, 2. Breathe out, 3. Go to 1 and repeat. Now, I don't play a lot of cruises. What I do know is that the Fiji can be very fragile if you get caught out of position. But I spawn here across on a cap, and like a good captain, I am going to play the cap that I spawn on. I actually had a conversation with somebody in game today at tier 7 on this map. We spawned on the south side. We were on B cap. He was on B cap. I was on A. I had 2 destroyers and 2 battleships against me. The destroyer that was on B abandoned it, and because he abandoned it, the battleships abandoned it too and gave an early lead to red team. And I said, why didn't you just try to contest the cap? And he's like, I never play B cap. If I ever spawn on B cap, I never play it because you're just going to get shot to pieces. Well, yes, but sometimes you do need to get shot at. You know, that ship comes out of port the next game as good as new. That's what your repair costs are for. So please, play your cap. If you can't take it, at least try to contest it. When it becomes uncontestable, that's the time to look to see if there's something else that you can do on the map. Now we've got a Leon here. We know there's a Ramat. There's a Budyoni too. We can see where the destroyer is on the map, and he's slightly out of range for me, and I'm looking because I'm pushing into this cap. I want to be able to contest it. I do get spotted by the Ramat, but we're going to try and get some early salvos in on him. The Budyoni does look like it's going to try and rush the flank. But that Leon and all of his French guns is going to be very aggressive in his play, and he is going to push and try and draw and tank some fire from that Budyoni as he tries to push up the flank. This is not particularly where I want to be, but I am on the cap. I'm spotted. I'm running my smoke. I can see that I have got some help behind me, but there are a few ships that are quite a way back on the map. But I am going to get my guns in on this guy for as long as I possibly can, trying to remember, but not actually knowing exactly what my smoke fire penalty is. But we've got torpedoes running, we've got the guns out. We can see that the Ramat is firing from behind the edge of the island. He is also very fragile, and we are going to try and get some fire onto him and rotate through and do as much damage as we can. Now that Leon that's charging through the middle of the cap should be broadside to anything that's on B cap, and he should be a nice ripe target. But I'm feeling very precious here. I need to move. That Leon is getting dangerously close. So we are going to turn, we're going to angle, we're going to use our torpedo indicator to try and figure out what this Leon is going to be doing. But we can also see that there is a California coming in this direction. I'm spotted by the Budyoni, who's on the flank, and again he's taken some fire, but the immediate risk is the Leon, which I'm broadside to, and I'm expecting to get deleted here. But we're going to do what we can and fight for as long as we can. We get all 4 turrets on. I have since tweaked my build on this one to give me a bit more turret traverse. I'm trying to stay in will to rebuild range for this guy. The Leon disappears. The Budyoni is going to be next. I need to push through, drop detection on this smoke, and narrowly miss a full salvo there from the California. Get caught out by the turret traverse, but that is it. We get rid of the Budyoni. I'm now in open water. I've overextended here. I know I've overextended, and I know that that California is there staring at me. But we're going to put another set of torpedoes down towards where that Ramat is, and we're going to try and get some shots on this Gnevny. But he keeps disappearing in and out of view. Now, one of the things that I will say about this game is that the Scharnhorst in this game is in division with the carrier. The Scharnhorst has come across behind us. There is another ship behind us. I think it's a Queen Elizabeth. And I can't remember what else is there. A Graf Speer. But there we go. I get chunked off the California, who's broadside to everybody at the moment. And I'm into an island. This is not a good place to be, but we're still going to try and make as much of an impact on Red Team as we can in the time that we're alive. We're piling some shells into that California. We need to back up, but he is going to blind fire this smoke screen, look, and chunk. There we go. We are down to about 25% health here. This is not good. We are, what, 6 minutes into the game, and I'm feeling like I'm a one-shot. Now, with the Scharnhorst and the carrier being in division and knowing where that destroyer is, you'd think that he would keep it spotted and get it off the game. Now, I've realised that we've completely lost the left flank. We've lost 4 ships. Red Team have lost 4 ships. And so I'm going to try and stay undetected for as long as I can. And I'm going to make a dash for B cap because cap's a king and we are on the back foot now. My thinking here is that a Scharnhorst with the support of the carrier and a Graf Speer and a Queen Elizabeth against a California and a half-health destroyer should be able to kill those 2 ships and hold that cap. 3 ships and a carrier should be able to do that, surely, between them. I call for some fire on the New Orleans because I know that I'm in a bad position for that California. The Scharnhorst does a great job of picking that up, and I do thank him. And now I'm going to try and get myself onto B cap and with some cover because we've just managed to pull ahead on points. And this, if we can take and hold this cap, should really be, I think, a clean sweep. It is for Red to win this game. At this stage, I think, if I can get this cap turned. But really, the player base, as I said, it just seems to be getting worse by the day. The play style of the players is getting worse by the day. And the experience and enjoyment that I've been having in this game is ever reducing. It's getting to the point where I really don't want to play this game for much longer. It is the same old grind, day in, day out. Here we have that cruiser spotted. I am trying to get fire on. I'm expecting him to absolutely slap me because I am broadside. But he knows that the most valuable target on this map is the aircraft carrier that's in front of him. And this is where we're probably going to lose this game. Because the carrier, even though he is spotted, does not move a single inch. Whether or not he knows that he can move on autopilot with the minimap, I don't know. But I am having to keep on my guns and stay spotted for the sake of trying to take out this Surrey. California picks him up, or picks himself up, a clear sky. So the carrier is obviously throwing planes at him. I have now got the attention of Red Team's carrier, and he is going to focus on me as much as he can. And this is going to be problematic, but not unbeatable. The Surrey takes down the carrier. Now, again, if the carrier is in division with the Scharnhorst, should the Scharnhorst be putting fire on him? Why have two battleships, a cruiser and a carrier, been unable to take down one battleship and a half-health destroyer? I don't know. But we get a second kill of the game on the Surrey. It is me and the Queen Elizabeth, and the Queen Elizabeth is in a very bad position now because they weren't able to kill the destroyer, because we've lost the carrier. That Queen Elizabeth is now out on its own, and it is going to get focused down. 3 ships plus the cover of the carrier, they weren't able to account for a single one of those 2 ships that were against them on that cap. I pushed, I fought, I supported, I took A cap. I realised what was going on elsewhere on the map. I've pushed across to B. It does not take the brains of Britain to have an ounce of understanding of threats and tactics in this game, but all anybody seems to want to do is their own thing every single time. And it's disappointing. Now at this stage of the game, I realise that it is lost because that Queen Elizabeth is not going to survive much longer. And so I decide that now we're not winning this. There isn't a hope in hell of winning this. So I'm going to take as much as I can out of this game, and I'm going to push and try for a 3rd capture point, and at the same time, having seen where the carrier's planes are coming from, I am going to try and get rid of him. I don't feel that there's really enough time left in the game to put it back for a win, because although the Queen Elizabeth is hanging on, that California is pushing into A cap. And as much as I can turn C cap to our favour, they've got enough of a lead now, especially once that Queen Elizabeth disappears, to secure victory from themselves well before the end of the game. But that California got a clear sky quite early on. Let me tell you, it's not going to be the only clear sky in this game, because as we start smashing this Ryuho with Citadel shots from our AP, he is absolutely hounding us, and I know the only way for me to survive this game is to get rid of him and stop him putting planes up in the air. So there is my clear sky. We already have a high caliber. That is 30% of the total damage hit points of Red Team. I've picked up a Confederate, which is at least 20% of the total hit points of at least six ships on the enemy team. So I have literally fought the propellers off this Fiji for as long and as hard as I can. So after 3 years and a year on YouTube, if the game continues to be this bad for another month, then I really think that I'm going to just chuck it all in, because It just seems absolutely pointless in game after game after game to be throwing away ships, to be throwing away victories, because people are broken. It isn't just the game. The game itself is decent. It's not perfect. It is far from perfect. Wargaming themselves are far from perfect. But the players in this game that have a complete lack of understanding or awareness of what they might actually need to do in a game is what is breaking it and making it less and less enjoyable to play. In the last minute, I start to push, thinking I could get on and maybe pick up the Cali, but yeah, they've got the points, the clock is down, the game is over. Just under 130,000 damage, 3 kills, 25 planes, 220 odd gun hits, 2 solo caps, 1 cap assist, high caliber Confederate Dreadnought and Clear Sky, finishing on 2,427 base XP, which beats everybody on the winning team bar the top 2 spots, and they have a 50% win bonus. That would have been a 3650 base XP if only they'd managed to take out those ships on A cap. Had I stayed there, might I have died the same way? Yes. Might I have made a difference? Possibly. But without the capture points, we would still have been on a losing battle, fighting uphill to pull the points back for victory with the cap points. It's getting worse by the day. But there's some good games here, so hang around, smash the like button, click the subscribe button, and click one of these links and watch something else that might make you a little bit happier. Goodbye for now.